So we talk about how citizens experience Europe, how EU citizens experience Europe. But you also mentioned that the member states are still what the Germans call the Herren der Verträge, that is the masters of the treaties. And that's something I want you to unpack a bit more. The relationship between member states and the EU, between national capitals and Brussels, if you want, the EU institutions. And since we are in Berlin, as you said, in front of the Brandenburger Gate, I would like to ask you about what position Germany has within the EU. What does the EU mean to most German citizens, if you want?
Okay, that was quite a lot. To be honest, I'll try to answer all these questions. Now, first, as regards the relationship between member states, and we always speak about the European as being Brussels.
Yes.
You know? Sort of, we have this idea of capitals representing political orders. So we talk about Washington, we talk about, I don't know, Beijing.
Right.
And of course, we talk about Brussels when we talk about the European Union, and we talk about Berlin when we talk about Germany, usually. So indeed, as you said, the foundations of the European Union were quite classic international law.
Yes.
So we had a classical treaty of international law between 6 member states then. That was Germany, Italy.
West Germany.
West Germany, indeed, of course. West Germany, Italy, France, and the Benelux states. That's Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. Yes. These 6 states created a union, and it was sort of, at first, dealing only with steel and coal. It was sort of a typical war industries were supposed to sort of come to a supranational level in order to prevent any state using these industries to once again start a war against any other member state. And that was so successful that they sort of expanded. This expanded, and we had another treaty dealing with the economic communities in 1958, and the atomic community. Peaceful use of the atomic powers was then sort of the thing to do. And this sort of then evolved gradually and left its international law roots somehow. Yes. And became denser, intenser. Yes. And soon we spoke about a supranational union, where the law of the union actually prevails the national law. It stands on top. Yeah,
and this is why some legal scholars, or in fact the first president of the European Commission, who himself was a professor of
Hallstein.
Dr. Walter Hallstein, this is why they started to think about the EU as a de facto federation, right? That you have certain legal principles that make it very much look like a federation.
In everyday life, it actually looks quite so. It could be a classical federal state in some way. You could sort of organize a federal state exactly as you have organized the European Union at the moment. The thing the European Union lacks still, as I said, is the ability to amend its own treaties. We only see a state as a state if and as far as he is sovereign to actually amend its own constitution. Yes. And that is nothing the European Union itself can do. It can propose amendments, but in the end, it's always the member states, and all the member states, we need unanimity here, that have to agree to the amendments and then have to transfer these amendments into their national legal order.